This is Rockslapping Champions. Player 1, playing Mengsk. We have Motorhead. And player 2, playing Kerrigan. We have Shadow Soldier. So the first thing that you would have noticed is that Kerrigan over here has identified the enemy race on this mission without having a look. And that is because they visit Starcraft2coop.com, your #1 source of Starcraft 2 co-op information. And as you can see over here, there's a little Protoss crate, and since there's no creep, that is how they were able to identify that this is Protoss. So you can check the mini-map over here to see whether this is Zerg or not, and then you can use this existence of this crate over here to tell whether it's Protoss. So that is how Kerrigan was able to identify the enemy race. So let's have a look at the masteries while the players get set up over here. We have Mengsk, who's using an equal split into the conscript and then the guard support. We have 3 points in the terrible damage, and then we have 3 points in the starting mandate. Kerrigan over here is blazing it right now with the 2010 split into the energy regeneration, immobilization wave, and the primary ability improvement mastery. So we should be expecting here a solo-ish kind of Kerrigan build, mostly reliance of Kerrigan over here to clear out the enemy bases and whatnot. And since this is Rift to Core Hall, the first attack wave has already spawned and is going to be making its way towards the ramp. Now Kerrigan is going to be struggling a little bit to be able to defend, but I think there was one Rockslapping Champions episode where Kerrigan defended really nicely with an interesting position of hatchery and spine crawlers on this side. But over here, Mengsk has a bunch of troopers. They are apparently not loaded into the bunkers. Nope, they retreat now back into the bunkers. Now they're ready to take on this onslaught of adepts over here. One of these troopers does end up going down to the adepts. Another one gets completely shredded as well by these adepts. 2 adepts left right now. That guy gets focus fired down. He ends up getting killed off. And now we have an SCV that is going to attack the adept as well. But that SCV now is going to be sent to repair the bunkers. These guys get unloaded, and these guys are going to remain in their bunker for now. Let's see what the plan is for this at the moment. Over here, Kerrigan already has their macro hatchery up, and I think they have a bunch of lings as well here that are going to be clearing this hatchery, which seems to be okay right now. Production wise, we only have 1 trooper in production with 4 queued up as well on Mengsk. He seems to just be building up an army right now. He does not seem to be interested in taking his expansion. His expansion is still over there, and these troopers are going to start pushing into this side, I guess. There are a bunch of zealots here. You'll have to be a little bit careful because that might be really bad. The zealots can actually slice up these troopers very quickly because they don't actually have a lot of HP. We have Kerrigan's immobilization aura that has come out. Kerrigan now has gotten a little bit of value from that, and now Mengsk has gotten some more value out of the assimilation aura, and Kerrigan now will start clearing out this void shard. So the commanders are not really too pressed for time. Troopers going to be moving forward again. These troopers are not upgraded as well. So the thing about Mengsk is he has the ability to upgrade his troopers. Okay, you can see now we have a few of the rocket troopers. I was just going to recommend that. The rocket troopers are probably the best ones when it comes to dealing with armored air targets, and in this case the rocket trooper can take value out of these void shards, because you can see the void shard is an armored unit, and since it's really tall, it can actually get hit by the rocket troopers rockets basically, and that is really good value because the rocket troopers do an insane amount of damage to that. And you can see here the enlistment center now is queued up with a total of all the troopers that are possible. They are ready to go. This next attack wave has spawned. Kerrigan is slightly out of position, but the attack wave will try and sneak through. Kerrigan has not noticed it just yet. Okay, Kerrigan has now, and Kerrigan will go and clear these units from the attack wave, and I think that is pretty much good to go. Assimilation aura was not up, so it is a little bit of an anti-timing there. Unfortunate for Kerrigan, but not too bad. Kerrigan really needs to get some more value out, and because this is a solo Kerrigan build, it doesn't really sting as much as it would. But this seems to be okay. Kerrigan's hatchery her expansion seems to be okay now, and I think it's pretty much at optimal saturation. There is a bit of a drone transfer here to make sure that there's no oversaturation on the main mineral line. And on this side, we have Mengsk just queuing up a bunch of troopers. And again, no expansion taken from Mengsk over here. So that is an interesting strategy, considering that this expansion is kind of free and this game is kind of... It's not really a long map, but there's definitely a value to getting the expansion out. The other thing I have also noticed is that Mengsk is working off a 7-worker economy right now. So you can see here Mengsk's minerals are really short. Mengsk seems to be producing troopers rather than workers over here. We have 9 workers on the main mineral line, and then yeah, that's...
Hey, I'm not expendable.
Okay, so now Mengsk has started to push through, drops his nuke over here, but he has produced a few more workers right now, but it's still not at the main, at the optimal saturation that would be needed. And we have Mengsk now just starting to push, starting to harass some of these hybrids. And you can see the damage output from these rocket troopers. They deal a good amount of damage. They are not really bad. They're not bad units. Now Kerrigan's going to push through as well with the assimilation ore, trying to get some more value out of these units over here. There's a Void Ray, there's a cannon over there as well. Cannon gets picked off, Void Ray gets picked off, and now we have a few rocket troopers over here that are ready to go. So far, a total of 21 units have been killed off by Mengsk, and Mengsk does not really have a Royal Guard out yet, so he's not really going to be getting any value from any of the kills that Kerrigan is getting. There is, I believe, another attack wave that is over here as well. Omega Worm comes out to provide some of the detection that was needed, and now Kerrigan will be able to clean up pretty much the rest of these void shards without too much resistance over here. And now Mengsk's troopers as well. There's good focusing on Mengsk here to move these things out of the way. These things, I don't think they get one shot by the void shard, but they get very close. We have now a large number of laborers that are being made, and now Mengsk has decided he is short on economy, so he's gonna push back now and try and clear his expansion over here, which is, again, this should have been done at the 5-minute mark, or the 4-minute mark, or the 3-minute mark even at that point, but that is okay. Mengsk is going to start clearing this expansion now. He'll be taking that as well. There's another worker that's being moved across over here, and that will be okay. Now, we have also a bunch of Hydralisks over here. Now, remember, Kerrigan is using a solo Kerrigan build, so the Hydralisk count here will not be as high as you would normally expect for a Kerrigan at this time, but that is okay. These Hydralisks do get hit by the Void Shard, but that is okay for Kerrigan. Kerrigan's creep will be able to heal them, and Mengsk is basically taking his expansion with a 1-worker build here. So Mengsk can multi-build on the structures, so he should probably send a few more workers over here, but there's 1 worker now that is going to be building this command center solo, the sole Bob the Builder worker. And now Kerrigan will start pushing into this next base here, and Kerrigan will use an assimilation aura, immobilization wave, and you can just see the damage output. They're pretty much one-shots all the weaker units, and now the Hydralisk will come out as well to try and get a little bit more value out of this. Mengsk, on the other hand, is moving his troopers, his workers on this side. And is he going to be building some Earth Splitters? I think he will be building some Earth Splitters right now. Yep, so we have a bunch of Earth Splitters that are coming out. This spot is kind of okay. The spot that is usually ideal is just off to the side. There is another high ground over here, and you can just drop your Earth Splitters on that side. That makes it a little bit easier to target this base as well as the void shards on this base. Mengsk can actually kind of cheese this area. And now there's another attack wave, but Kerrigan has moved in to intercept, and Kerrigan will clear up the attack wave before she resumes to continue murdering the enemy units on the other base over there. And yeah, we have a large number of Earth Splitters that are coming out, but there are no troopers to man this area out. All these troopers are sitting back here, which is interestingly enough. Mengsk's first Royal Guard is also out. He has a rank 3 Marauder right now, or the Aegis Guard, or whatever it's called. And I think... is Mengsk gonna man these Earth Splitters? The Earth Splitters only get value if you actually man them, because each person that you put into here, it basically gives you 1 more salvo, in 1 more volley for these Earth Splitters. And it basically means like you're building 1 extra Earth Splitter for the cost of just putting a dude in there. But I don't think Mengsk is going to load them in, and so these Earth Splitters are basically just sitting here now, and the rate of fire is going to be reasonably slow. And he's shelling this area over here, I'm assuming because he wants to try and clear ahead. Kerrigan now uses an assimilation aura. Mengsk moves out of the way a little bit, and now there is a hybrid that does a lifty move onto the trooper over there. One of these troopers gets into getting picked up. These troopers are going to have a very hard time because they're not really effective, they're not very strong. Additionally, there are no upgrades here for Mengsk as well. He doesn't have any of his upgrades, considering he's using an Earth Splitter trooper build. It's always useful to get the range upgrades and the attack upgrades, and it might actually be worth building 2 engineering bases to get those upgrades out together, because the upgrades are really important. Again, there's a storm onto these troopers. Troopers move back out of the way. So far, there are a total of 39 troopers that have ended up getting killed off by that, and there's a fungal growth as well from... I don't think that's a fungal growth. That was a hybrid ability, never mind. but yeah, these troopers do end up getting hit by the Void Shard. The Void Shard gets a few kills as well. Let's see, there's no kill count on the Void Shard. This is unfortunate, but this area will be cleared out. Unfortunately, now there is an attack wave that is coming up, and Mengsk is looking at this side. And he notices that there's an attack wave over here, and he wants to move some of his units across, but this is partially an air composition. And he's not noticed that there are a bunch of Dark Templars that are just going to continue swiping away at his Earth Splitters. He drops down an emergency bunker right now, but that emergency bunker is not going to help very much, and the bunker is going to go down. And those troopers now are deciding, you know what, this was a huge error, and how did I get myself into this position, because this is a huge problem. And now the Dark Templars have also taken out Kerrigan's mobility, so that is a bit of a problem as well for Kerrigan. Kerrigan will have to move back now to try and deal with this site, or this attack wave. This attack wave is moving towards Mengsk's base, which is again somewhat problematic for him because he has not that many workers over here. Kerrigan has moved in now to try and deal with this, and I think there are a bunch of Dark Templars over here again. These Dark Templars will end up killing off some of Mengsk's troopers. He has pulled his worker line and converted them to troopers, but these troopers stand no chance against the Dark Templars or the Phoenixes over here. Kerrigan now finally in position, drops in the Mega Worm, unloads the Hydralisk, and ends up cleaning out the rest of this attack wave, except for the one Dark Templar that is on this side. Which is again, why is this trooper running when he has detection? Not really sure. If that guy also gets completely cut in half by the Dark Templar. I know this Dark Templar will start harassing Mengsk's base over here. Kerrigan comes in to save the day. Kerrigan has cleaned up this Dark Templar, and the Void Shards are also down now. And now we have Kerrigan going to go and deal with the last set of Void Shards. Mengsk has decided to completely pull the boys right now. He has completely converted all his workers. He is running on a 0 mineral economy right now. No, he's running on a 2 mineral economy right now. And he is going to be completely pulling the boys now. And he is going to provide one final push to help Kerrigan seal the deal and clear out these Void Shards. A total of 66 of these guys have been lost, and now we have the Zerg spawn over here, but this Zerg spawn was not done at a high mandate mastery, so they just get completely shredded by the enemy camp over there, because apparently the Earth Splitters did not do their job at clearing, because the Earth Splitters did not have the attack rate that was required to clear out these enemy forces. Kerrigan is going to be pushing up from the other side as well. There's a little bit of micro here for Mengsk. He's trying to make sure he doesn't lose too many units over there, but every single time he pushes in, the hybrid or the carrier or the immortal over there casts an attack and kills off one of his troopers, which is very, very upsetting. But Mengsk doesn't care, because those guys, despite how much they say, they are indeed expendable. And now Mengsk is ready for the final push. He has 4 Marauders right now in his army, and I think he is... There are no workers on this side yet. This is it. This is do or die for Mengsk. He's getting ready for the final push, and now he is going to try and push up this ramp. And this ramp is really well defended, so 2 of these troopers get lifted by the hybrids. Those end up getting picked off. A few more, and now there's a cannon as well that is attacking some of these troopers. And that is a bit of a problem, because Mengsk has lost pretty much all his troopers now, and now these Marauders are not really going to stand a chance against a bunch of Colossi and a big hybrid and an immortal and a photon cannon there. So one of these Marauders in the front here ends up getting killed off by the Dark Templar, as well as also joined into the fray. Second of the Marauders also gets killed off here. We have a little bit of an unload from some of the troopers that he has moved from some of his mineral line. There's some guys here that are hiding. They do not want to be noticed by Mengsk, otherwise they're going to be sent to the front line as well to get murdered. And now Mengsk is down to 2 Marauders and 2 Rocket Troopers. And now there's again trying to push through. I don't think there's enough detection over here, and there are a few more Dark Templars that are scattered around the base. So this also might end up making Mengsk lose some of his other valuable units. He is trying to push in slowly, and yes, there's a Dark Templar now that has aggroed. He's trying to lure them towards Kerrigan over here. Now there's Kerrigan has vision of this Dark Templar, ends up not killing off the Dark Templar there. And now these 2 Marauders are going to try and help Kerrigan deal the damage out. But there is another Zerg spawn over here, this time with a few Hydralisks. But these Hydralisks are not really going to do very much. Kerrigan now uses an assimilation or immobilization wave, and she's pretty much one-shot all the weaker units over here. Now Mengsk will be able to have a little bit of free reign. There are 2 Marauders over here with rank 3 level upgrades right now. And I think this should be pretty much it, unless he manages to lose. I'm gonna try and keep an eye out on these two Marauders. I want to see what their adventures are over here. I think they should be okay. I don't think there are any Dark Templars anywhere here. Might be a Phoenix or something, but the Phoenix won't really be able to do much here. The Marauders over here. Two of the Void Shards are gone down. And now I think this is pretty much the end of it. This is the second last Void Shard has gone down. And this is the final Void Shard over here. Kerrigan is just going to be completely moving through and clearing out the rest of these bases. There is a bit of a shield thing that gets procced onto this Marauder, but that is pretty much it. That is the last Void Shard down. Kerrigan has carried this mission, and Amon is upset, and potentially even Mengsk. That is GG.